Good day, grade 11 students. How are you today? Welcome to the week 10 of Earth in Life Science. I am Sir Roy, and I am so excited to have you here. Excited about all the amazing new learnings that we line up just for you. So, set your mind, ready your heart, and brace yourselves as we explore the world of Earth and Life Science. Are you ready to listen? Let's begin! Are you ready, grade 11 students? As we go navigate the lesson, you are expected to A. Distinguish between the concept of hazard and risk. B. Identify types of geological hazards. C. Describe hazards brought by earthquake, volcanic eruption, and landslide. To test your prior knowledge of our lesson, kindly answer the following questions that will be flashed on your screen. Let's start. Here's the directions. Carefully read the following questions and write the correct answers on your study notebook. Number 1. It refers any hazard or threat that causes fatality or damage to property. A. Natural disaster. B. Risk reduction. C. Saltwater intrusions. D. Weather forecast. What's your answer? Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Okay, number 2. Which of the following is not an effect of volcanic activity? A. Earthquake. B. Landslide. C. Monsoon. And D. Tsunami. The answer is letter C. Monsoon. Let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following does not trigger landslide? A. Ground shaking due to earthquake. B. Stiffness of the slope. C. Thick vegetation. And D. Volcanic activity. The correct answer is letter C. Thick vegetation. Let's proceed to number 4. All are primary hazard caused by an earthquake except blank. A. Fires. B. Lahar or mud flow. C. Landslide and liquefaction. And D. Tsunami. The correct answer is letter A. Fires. Number 5. Why does liquefaction occur after an earthquake? A. Clay-free soil deposit lose strength temporarily and behave as a viscous liquid rather than as a solid. Letter B. The soil and rock layers of the earth are completely disturbed. Letter C. The water table displaces the soil layer. And the letter D. Water saturates the soil and weakens the foundation of infrastructure. What's your answer? The correct answer is letter A. Clay-free soil deposit lose strength temporarily and behave as a viscous liquid rather than as a liquid. Geological hazards are responsible for great loss of life and destruction of property. In the 20th century, more than 1 million people worldwide have been killed by earthquake alone, and the value of the property destroyed by earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis amounts to score of billions of dollars. A natural hazard is a threat or a naturally occurring event will have a negative effects on humans. This negative effect is what we call a natural disaster. In other words, when the hazardous threat actually happens and harms, we call the event a natural. Now, let's move on to the next part of our lesson. We are going to distinguish between hazard and risk. The two terms are often incorrectly used as synonyms. Hazard are the natural phenomena or something that has the potential to cause damage or injury, regardless of whether there is anyone around to experience them or not. Risk, on the other hand, is the likelihood of harms to take place based on exposure to that hazard. Hazard may be categorized into anthropogenic and natural hazard. Anthropogenic, also called a made hazard, includes deforestation, mining, and climate change. Natural hazards can be classified into the following: geological, examples, earthquake, landslide, and volcanic activity. Hydrological, avalanche, and floods. Climatological, example, extreme temperature, drought, and wildfires. Meteorological, example, cyclones and storms, and wave surge. Biological, disease epidemic and insects, animal plagues, and attack. Earthquakes happens because of the sudden release of energy below the Earth's surface, whether due to tectonic plates movements or due to volcanic eruption. People define earthquake as a weak to intense shaking of the ground produced by the abrupt movement of the rock materials below the Earth's surface. Here are the primarily earthquake hazards. A. Surface rupture and physical. Damage is the most obvious hazard of an earthquake. Surface rupture happens when movement on a fault below the ground break through or extend on the surface. B. Liquefaction occurs in areas where the soil becomes saturated with water. During an earthquake, the movement of the ground may loosen the soil and allow more water to seep in between the particles. C. Flood. Flood could also be an earthquake includes hazards. The failure of dams due to ground shaking can lead to catastrophic floods, from the rapid emptying or reservoir to potentially drowning downstream communities. Tsunamis caused by earthquake can also lead to significant flooding. D. Fire can break out during or after an earthquake when damage happens along electric power lines, substation, and power plants. E. Tsunami or harbor waves is an earthquake hazard that is generated when earthquake occurs on the seafloor. F. Landslide is another earthquake hazard that occurs when is too much shaking on the ground, which loosens the soil facilitating its downward movement. Gravity acting on a slope is the primary cause of landslide, accompanied with other important and dynamic factors that serve as triggers. Philippines has several active volcanoes which periodically threaten their immediate vicinities. These are the list of volcanoes that erupted within last 600 years based on the analysis of materials from young volcanic deposits. To be considered active, the volcanoes must have had recent eruption or has erupted since the last 10,000 years. 1. Babuyan Claro in Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon. 2. Banahaw in boundaries of Laguna and Quezon in Luzon. 3. Biliran in Leyte in Visayas. 4. Budaho in Sulu in Mindanao. 5. Bulusan in Sorsogon, Bicol Region in Luzon. 6. Cabalian in Southern Leyte in Visayas. 7. Cagua in Cagayan in Luzon. 8. Camiguin de Babuyanes in Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon. 9. Didicas in Babuyan Island Group in Cagayan in Luzon. 10. Hibok-Hibok in Camiguin in Mindanao. 11. Iraya in Camarines Sur in Luzon. 12. Iriga in Camarines Sur in Luzon. 13. Isarog in Camarines Sur in Luzon. 14. Canlaon in Negros Oriental. 16. Makaturing in Lanao del Sur. 17. Matutom in Cotabato in Mindanao. 18. Mayon in Albay, Bicol Region in Luzon. 19. Musuan, Bukidnon in Mindanao. Parker in South Cotabato. 21. Pinatubo in boundaries of Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales in Luzon. 22. Ragang in the Lanao del Sur and Cotabato in Mindanao. 23. Smith in Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon. 24. Taal, Batangas in Luzon. Why does the Philippines have many volcanoes? The Philippines is situated on a unique tectonic setting ideal to volcanism and earthquake activity. It lies at the boundaries of two tectonic plates, the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate, both of which subduct or dive beneath the archipelago along deep trenches along its east and west seaboard. We have two volcanic types of eruption. First, explosive, and second is the Hawaiian type. Explosive type of eruption has a thick magma and contains large amount of dissolved gases. Thick magma could not easily get out of the vent. This impeded the remaining magma below. Because of an increase in pressure, once the pressure is released, an explosive eruption occurs. In Hawaiian type of eruption, this type is non-explosive because its magma is a low viscous and has low amount of dissolved gases. During the eruption, the lava flows from the vent is a relatively low level eruption. Lava flows. Extremely hot lava can heat down, bury, or ignite anything that it reaches. When lava enters a body of water or water enters the lava tube, the water may boil violently and cause an explosive shower of molten sputter over a wide area. Methane gas, which is produced as lava varies vegetation, can migrate in subsurface and explode when heated. Tephra, or fragmented volcanic particles, or ash, propelled through the atmosphere in an eruption plume, eventually fall over areas downwind of an erupting volcano. Tephra or asphalt can accumulate as thick blankets, causing infrastructural damage and death. It can collapse roof, contaminate water resources, bury people, and damage agricultural land and livestock. Asphalt can also be rained out from the ash clouds of pyroclastic. It is a health hazard and a danger to aircraft and other industrial machinery, such as those for transportation and power generation. After an eruption, pyroclastic materials that have settled along the slope of the volcano get mixed with rainwater. This would start a mud flow or lahar, moving at the high-speed lahar, destroying everything along its path. Volcanic gases. Volcanic eruptions emit water vapor and toxic gases into the atmosphere. Gases emitted from an erupting volcano includes carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, hydrochloric acid, and carbon monoxide. These gases can be lethal to people, animals, and plants. Volcanic tsunami. Just like earthquakes, violent volcanic eruption may also happen underwater, which can trigger a tsunami. For let's practice activity, write your answer in your notebook. Directions. Classify the following hazard in a pool as anthropogenic and natural hazards. So what is your answer? So under anthropogenic, so we have deforestation, mining, and climate change. Then under natural hazards, we have avalanche, animal plagues, floods, wildfires, earthquakes, droughts, and cyclones. Directions. Determine the phenomena described by the sentence below. Choose your answer from the pool of works. Write your answer in your activity notebook. So number 1, manifested by breaking of grounds and collapsing its infrastructure, which is usually experienced in urban areas. The answer is surface rupture. Number 2, the damage that occurs when there is rapid shaking due to the movement of rocks along fractures on Earth's surface. What is your answer? The answer is earthquake hazard. Number 3, it occurs when damage happens along electric power lines, substations, and power plants. The answer is fire. Number 4, it is generated when earthquake or volcanic eruption occurs on the seafloor. The correct answer is tsunami. Number 5, It occurs when there is too much shaking on the ground and the soil on the slopes become loose and slide downward. The correct answer is landslide. To summarize the lesson, please do this activity and write your answer in your notebook. Direction: complete the following statements by filling in the missing words from the box below. Let's answer. Hazard are natural phenomena or something that has the potential to cause damage or injury, regardless of whether there is anyone around to experience them or not. Risk, on the other hand, is the likelihood of harm to make place based on exposure to that hazard. Earthquake hazard are classified into two. We have primary and secondary. Primary earthquake hazard are surface rupture, landslide, and liquefaction. Then, secondary earthquake hazard are those that are caused by the primary hazard and may often catastrophic. Tsunami, flooding, and fire. Tsunami or a harbor wave is an earthquake hazard that is generated when earthquakes occurs on the seafloor. Landslide is another earthquake hazard that occurs when there is too much shaking on the ground which loosens the soil, facilitating its downward movement. Now, let's go back to the question posted at the beginning of our lesson and review your answer. Here's the directions. Carefully read the following questions and write the correct answers on your study notebook. Number 1. It refers any hazard or threat that causes fatality or damage to property. A. Natural disaster. B. Risk reduction. C. Saltwater intrusions. D. Weather forecast. What's your answer? Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Okay, number 2. Which of the following is not an effect of volcanic activity? A. Earthquake. B. Landslide. C. Monsoon. And D. Tsunami. The answer is letter C. Monsoon. Let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following does not trigger landslide? A. Ground shaking due to earthquake. B. Stiffness of the slope. C. Thick vegetation. And D. Volcanic activity. The correct answer is letter C. Thick vegetation. Let's proceed to number 4. All are primary hazard caused by an earthquake except blank. A. Fires. B. Lahar or mud flow. C. Landslide and liquefaction. And D. Tsunami. The correct answer is letter A. Fires. Number 5. Why does liquefaction occur after an earthquake? A. Clay-free soil deposit lose strength temporarily and behave as a viscous liquid rather than as a solid. Letter B. The soil and rock layers of the earth are completely disturbed. Letter C. The water table displaces the soil layer. And the letter D. Water saturates the soil and weakens the foundation of infrastructure. What's your answer? The correct answer is letter A. Clay-free soil deposit lose strength temporarily and behave as a viscous liquid rather than as a liquid. This time, we are going to have an activity entitled the Plus Report. All you have to do is conduct an inquiry regarding the landslide in Barangay Liwanag, Puerto Princesa City last May 2017. Then, write 1 to 2 minute television news script emphasizing the cause of hazard, number of casualties, and cause of damage. Afterwards, read your script and act like a TV news reporter. Record the news reporting and submit it to your teacher via messenger or email. Yes, we have finally discussed the concept of hazard and risk. You have done a great job. Go on, tell your friends that you have learned today. If you ever forget the lesson details, you may watch this video again until you master it. Once again, I'm Sir Roy, your friendly learning teacher.